I'm dressed head to toe in leather. I'm piloting one of the fastest production motorcycles ever built. We are racing at speeds that would get you arrested in any country. I'm with my best friend, the love of my life. Our bodies are pressed together and we're experiencing incredible G-forces as I go to the brakes at almost 200 miles per hour. Our weight shifts forward so hard the back wheel comes up off the ground. I can smell smoking rubber, and Kristi squeezes my chest even tighter.
Our bodies, hips, and knees move in perfect sync as we enter the turn. We're leaning in so far that the rumble strip is whipping right past my face, and I can feel Jonathan's knee start to scrape the asphalt. In fact, I can feel everything that he is experiencing. As we exit the turn, the acceleration is intense. So intense that the front wheel lifts up off the ground into a full wheelie, and we are now going faster than an airplane at takeoff. I'm balancing on the back, trusting that Jonathan can hold on for both of us. I hear him let out a woo, and we rocket down the straightaway at 180 miles an hour.
This is our date night. We're gonna show you how to take these peak experiences, also known as flow state, to help you accelerate deep and meaningful connection. What if you could use the way that your brain and body function to actually bring you closer together? It's biohacking love.
So, flow state is a state of optimal mental and physical performance. It's when our brain is processing so much information that it has to switch from conscious thinking into subconscious processing. It can happen during activities that are unpredictable and really fast-paced. You can tell that you've reached flow when you feel like you're in the zone. You're unable to worry about the past or think about the future. The activity that you're doing is so engaging, it requires your complete focus on the present moment. We have been to some of the highest elevations, like skydiving, and we've been to some of the lowest, like scuba diving. But you guys don't have to cheat death in order to reach flow state. We've found flow in other activities, like dancing, tantra, meditation, going to business networking events together. It's been awesome. We do. Now, flow has been well researched, so we're not going to dive too deep into the information. Instead, we're going to show you how to use it as a couple to build deep love and connection.
To get couples into flow requires equal participation. You can't have one person driving and the other person sightseeing. You really have to rely on each other. In flow, well, for instance, there is no way that I could ride a motorcycle like that without her and I being in perfect sync. This was really hit home to us when we got invited to participate in a military training scenario. And they said, okay, we want you to be Team JK. So with these shared goals and the communication, it was probably 5 minutes into flow state, and we became Mr. and Mrs. Smith. We were back to back, shooting the enemies, shooting over each other's shoulders. It was like this incredible team. It was 1 + 1 = 11.
That was fun. But let me set the stage for you in our relationship when we first met, because we were far from 1 + 1 = 11. We were both strong-willed, independent, A-type entrepreneurs who were really stubborn.
Yeah.
When I found out we were both into extreme sports, my first thought was he better buckle up and hang on, because this is going to be a wild ride. We were super attracted to each other, but we were not great at relationships.
Nope.
If we weren't so good at getting into flow, we would have never made it. So in flow, our bodies get an instant flood of dopamine, serotonin, norepinephrine, and endorphins. They enhance mood, muscle tone, and arousal. What couple? I know. What couple doesn't want to be happy, fit, and turned on more often? This combination of chemicals also increases our pleasure 100 times greater than morphine. So it's no wonder why we fall in love every time we experience flow together. Oh my gosh. The research shows that in flow, you learn 250% faster And your creativity goes up by 400%. The more flow state activities we try, the deeper our connection gets. And by getting into flow, we've been able to master our communication as a couple and really adapt to each other's learning style.
So it's actually funny. It was at the racetrack that we realized that we have completely different learning styles. She was driving the race car. I'm in the passenger seat. I'm trying to explain what she needs to do, and I'm overloading her with information. After shut up numerous times, I realized that she just needed to feel what was going on. That was what she needed more than anything in that moment. And as soon as I stopped and changed my coaching style, she just crushed it.
He's actually really coached now. So then I took Jonathan out for his first dancing lesson. And I was getting frustrated because I kept trying to show him how to do this move. And he just was not picking up on it. So I pulled a friend aside, and all he had to do was tell him how to do this move. And Jonathan instantly nails it. Yeah. My learning style is kinesthetic, so I really have to feel and do things, and his learning style is audio, so he just can think and listen. This was a total game changer because it sped up our learning curve on everything we did. I would really encourage you guys to just grab your partner and go do a fun flow activity so that you can proactively work on your communication as a couple. It's way better than trying to resort to counseling.
Agreed. When I'm teaching motorcycle racing, we talk about the danger of panic. In panic, you fight, flight, or freeze. Critical thinking goes out the window. You start making poor decisions. And the really interesting thing is that thrill and panic are only separated by a very small amount. We're talking a few miles an hour, a few inches to the left, a few milliseconds in timing. So the really cool thing about that is that you can also get out of panic pretty easy. And this is something really important to remember. If you make a mistake, you can slow down. You can reset. We only crash because we're stacking mistakes typically. This works for us in our relationship. We can do the same thing to avoid emotional crashes. So because we've really paid attention and gotten to know each other, I know her body language. I know her feelings. I can see an argument coming. And when I see it coming, we slow down. We reset. We stay out of the danger zone. It's great.
Works wonderful.
We've really gone from fighting to flowing.
Totally. So that's actually one of my favorite things about flow state is that inner critic or your voice of negativity, in flow it doesn't work. So if you can argue or criticize your partner, you haven't actually reached flow state. So by us getting into flow regularly, we've been able to stay super positive with each other. We celebrate all the time. It's amazing. This video is a perfect example of us flowing together at a Ferrari track day.
Set him up to the pass. Get it. Beautiful job. Get it. Woo!
That's my baby.
I've got a good coach.
So you guys probably noticed I was as excited as she was. That's because in flow state, your egos dissolve. You really start to experience things as one. This is why it's so good for couples. It's really awesome. After every activity or event that we do, we also do what we call a feedback loop. And in the feedback loop, we analyze what just happened. This is at the business networking events just like it is at the racetrack. What did we do well? What do we need to work on for next time? How do we celebrate each other for the freaking cool stuff we do? So it's been really good for us.
So skydivers Mike and Holly say that doing extreme sports together is way more about trusting connection than it is about the adrenaline rush. When they're free falling, they have to be 100% tuned into each other and working together.
Our friends Mike and Jen have been married 26 years. They have 7 kids. We're from Utah. I don't know if we noticed that.
Totally.
I think that they learned to fly airplanes so they could have some quiet sunsets from the sky. Just kidding. We love their family. They're all amazing at getting into flow state. And this is actually a really good point. These techniques aren't just for couples. This is for family members, friends, partners, anybody that you really want to have a deep and meaningful relationship with.
Yeah.
Kristi and I have created an incredible life together. And it's been really special because of flow state in one big part. We make sure it's part of every one of our weekly date nights. I encourage you to do the same. Find things like improv classes, like rock climbing, like dancing. This stuff doesn't need to be daredevil stuff for you to get into flow as a couple. Make sure that it's unpredictable. Make sure that it's challenging, but not overwhelming. Nobody wants to wet their pants on date night. Make sure that you guys do it long enough that you can get in sync with each other.
Yeah.
If this were easy, you'd already be doing it all the time. And then make sure that you document it. Photos, videos, relive these adventures, guys. It's amazing.
We have both tried some wild and crazy things, and we agree that love is absolutely the most extreme sport we've ever done. Our hope is that more couples get intentional about flowing together. Give me your hand. Because we believe in love, and flow will keep you guys falling in love over and over again.
It's true.
Thank you.
Thank you.